Hey, family, friends, kindred spirits, people I like, acquaintances. Hey, got something to share. I'm bringing out all these things, all these pieces of art hidden within the closet of my mind and heart. And I'm clearing the air, I'm clearing the space to share with you a little bit of my truth, to get energy moving. There's nothing to prove here. Okay, let's see. Got a bunch. I know. I'll share with you this poem I wrote November before last, after the Trump election. I had been practicing silence for 2 months at that point. Extensive silence, no speaking. I would make a sound here and there, like a psh, to get your attention. Maybe whistle, clap. Maybe once in a while, like a mm. But I had taken on this practice after I had met an old man who, though not very large, not very young, was the hardest working, most energetic, most kind, most aware person I've met in one of the most, let's say, ever. His laughter was just contagious. It was like the only sound you'd really hear him truly let out. I mean, maybe if he cried, he'd let it out. You'd hear that too, but I didn't hear that. When he'd laugh, it was uproarious, and this was at a time in my life when I wasn't very happy for many reasons. I focused on reasons that were holding me down rather than looking at things that were lifting me up. So I became more attached to those things that pursued holding me down. And this man, he'd laugh at something that to me, I saw the humor in it, but it didn't really seem that funny. But the way he'd laugh was just, I could feel the rigidity of my heart begin to vibrate. And it felt so good. I thought to myself, I need this. So about 9 months later, I decided to try it out for myself. And after about a week of the discomfort of people learning to tolerate it, and me tolerating the patience necessary to communicate, I gained so much inner strength, so much emotional clarity. It was an incredible experience, and eventually I just began doing just Mondays. I haven't done it in a while, and I really hope to I will begin doing it again. So here's what I got out of that silence. There was an open mic opportunity at this church that my older sister would go to sometimes, and she told me about it, or I found out about it after her inviting me to a service for young people. And this is what I came up with. I don't see why I didn't share this before. I've gone to a naturopathic doctor, healer, if you will. She's an amazing woman, amazing being, and I shared it with her, and she really encouraged me to share it, with you, with everyone, with the people, with the world. She gave me a diagnosis using quantum reflex analysis. She had told me initially, a couple years prior, that I had the same parasite in my brain that caused her to become agoraphobic. She showed me various biomarkers, various organs and meridians that were off, let's say, out of harmony. And she gave me some advice and some supplements with what to take and what to avoid. And I'm still on that journey. I can tell you I've definitely lifted myself and been lifted out of that depressing place. So here's the poem. Thank you so much for the patience to catch up to this. It's a noisy world today, especially inside my brain. It seems that when I need this focus the most, these parasites are itching to party and I'm the host. Feeding on my gut, my brain, they're in my heart. It's not because I love them. I just think they're really smart. Beings of their own, like me, looking to grow. I think you'd be surprised at some things you didn't know. They can change the outer shell so your cells won't even notice, and rearrange the cravings in your brain until you're hopeless. How can I cope with this longer than a rope? Is the answer in a pharmacy? Nope. That's a dope myth. I heard the soul knows how to heal the body, and the key is to silence the mind. So maybe if we stop searching for God, as in gold, oil, and dollars, to be mined. Always peace, truth, and beauty are some things we'll really find. Time is a test of itself, a tool to carry order like the books on a shelf. But when over-contemplated like the status of your wealth, books for reading turn to hooks of bleeding when you let time latch on to your health. Trevor Hall sings, "You can't rush your healing. Darkness has its teaching. Love is never leaving." So if anybody here has some things worth believing, I say let that shit go so we can see what's been deceiving. And as for me, it's time to do some heaving, releasing all these lies that this devil's been conceiving. We kings, queens, and all beings are inherently free to discover more meaning. And speaking of deception, I've got thoughts on this election. In a state of such uncertainty, what's truly worth protection? Rights? Water? They're both being tested. Slowly tightening the vice's grip to cut off our connection. Again, Trevor Hall says, stand like a mountain with these indigenous protesters who pour love like a fountain. Their intention is to protect peacefully the water, at the very least a pure drink for our daughters. See, as these ocean levels rise because the globe is getting hotter, we might have to use the magic of good faith, like Harry Potter. Supporting faith is focus. This isn't hocus pocus. We each create reality. I think it's time to notice our thoughts, our fears, and where our hope is. Illuminating shadows of doubt is why I wrote this. I've been practicing silence for some time now. I'm not scared. I'm sacred. Namaste.